Yo, what is up, YouTube, man? Information about NBA 2K23 is coming out fast. I'm sure some people are going to get their hands on the game. We might have a demo, all kinds of stuff. But let's go over some of the tweets that Mike Wang, aka Baluba, if you guys don't know, he is the main gameplay developer. He knows all the information that we want to know. And I want to go ahead and say this off rip. I think this is going to be a big thing. We know for a fact that green animations are delayed this year. You're not going to see the green immediately like we have in the past. You're going to see in these tweets, Mike Wang is talking about shooting. It's not going to be like it was, people shooting 70%, 80%. It's not going to be like that anymore. He's thinking that people are going to be missing, even with higher three-point ratings, higher mid-range ratings. He's talking about the difficulty being much higher. He's even throwing around words like Hall of Fame difficulty, a little bit below that. I'm not believing all of this, but by the sound of it, it's going to really affect the way 2K has been playing. It's been very cherry pick heavy. Whenever somebody takes a shot, gets the green, people are going back, people are done on the play. With how it is now, if you don't know that the person greened the shot, they're not even going to know if they greened the shot. Also, shooting's going to be tougher. People are going to be missing more shots. There's not going to be as much room as just taking off the play, going for the cherry pick. You're going to have to keep playing because there's going to be more misses. You're not going to see the greens as immediately, and I think that is going to really be a big difference on how NBA 2K23 is going to be played compared to something like 2K22 and 2K21. But let's get into these tweets. Let me know what you guys are feeling about the game in the comments. If there's any points you want to make, we're just trying to get a hold of all the information they got out right now. As always, you can't really believe it until you actually play the game. But just having a good idea about some information is going to give you a little bit easier of a time deciding on what kind of build you want to make, what ratings you want to go for. Because, you know, now that we know shooting's tougher, you're not going to want a build that has a 73-pointer. I wouldn't recommend it. Maybe it's still possible to hit with that, but by the sounds of it, I'm definitely going to recommend builds with higher shooting ratings. Let's get into it. So the first thing, we made a change to where if you bite on a pump fake, there's a cooldown on the lander. It's much easier to get blown by, not too much. A lot of people ask what 3-point rating is needed to be consistent in 2K23. Depends on what you consider consistent. Your shot selection, stick skills. First off, what we consider consistent is if somebody's not guarding us, if somebody's leaving us open, if we get dotted in the corner, we're shooting that every single time. I do not think that's what Mike Wang is talking about. I think his version of consistent is just being able to shoot sometimes. But that's the way 2K is played. If you're open, you take the shot. You're never, open, but you're going to go in for the dunk anyway. So I think it is going to be a lot harder to shoot this year. The 80s, 85 ratings. Probably even, you're going to need your badges. You're going to need your hot spots. I definitely feel like shooting's going to be tougher. But people always figure it out. At the end of the year, as time goes on, you can make builds with lower shooting ratings, but it is safer to start with a build that has a more consistent rating, something you can feel comfortable with. Even a fully maxed out field goal percent should be significantly lower than what you saw in 22. That is one thing I was talking about. Again, people pretty much couldn't miss. Most point guards were just the small 99 three-point builds, and if they knew what they were doing, they were shooting 70%, and that's with taking contested shots, shooting wides, shooting, off dribble circus threes. That was with a lot of bad shots mixed in it. So if people were just taking open good shots, it could have been even higher. He's saying it's not going to be like that. Favorite, he's talking about his layup, MJ, Devin Booker, Levine. New animations are always good. I don't want to talk about everything if it's not as important. Stretch bigs can be effective. 75 3-point might be a little low. As you guys know, I had a 7'3" max wingspan build on the Next Gen Builder, and I could shoot super consistently with it. Now, not everybody could do that. I don't think that's going to be something as possible this year. If I have a build with a 73 3-pointer, I don't expect it to hit consistently as it did last year. So maybe that's just not something that's going to work this year. We shall see. He's talking about post shots right here. So this is interesting. Post fades from the low block will be close. Deep fades, we use mid-range and 3-pointer. I mean, that's fine. It just went off the mid-range last year. It should be fairly the same. Right here, talking about driving layup, the best layup to have for timing off. Everyone's going to have the timing off. People aren't going to really try to, unless there was a huge boost. Like, if you can green your layups through two people, and then people might actually go for it, but everyone's just going to have their layup timing off if it's not really worth the risk, worth the effort, and that's how it's been. He's saying right here, my favorite thing is probably going to be the shooting skill gap. Second might be the controllable rim hangs on next gen. Again, the shooting gap, he's talking about it a lot. I think the game is going to be changing. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? People want to hit every single shot they time right. I am of the opinion that it doesn't really, I mean, it's not like I really care to have it one way or another. I will adjust. But if it's just going to be harder to shoot, I feel like that just makes, you know, post shots, shots in the paint, overall two-pointers more valuable, and you don't really have value in two-point shots on threes, on a lot of game modes. If they can do it to where those actually become more valuable, where it becomes more valuable to be able to be a good finisher in the paint, I would definitely love to see that. Real player percentage gone. Talking about, you know, the height restrictions. We'll go over all that. It's kind of been the same. 6'4" and under is a guard. This year, the height, there's a swing category that kind of makes it to where you can get certain jump shots or not. That will be interesting. We're going to go really into that once the game drops, once the builder drops. Saying that step backs, spin jumpers, fadeaways are all going to be still good. Now, I did a lot of those. Not a lot of people do, so not a lot of people are going to care about that. But Mini Magician and Space Creator, you guys already know I'll have those on Hall of Fame. Here's, okay, yeah, he's talking about there's going to be new Save the Ball animations. I'm excited to see that. I thought that's what Hustle Hall of Fame was going to do. I was going to unlock those crazy animations. We didn't really have them this year. I would be excited to see them in NBA 2K23. Grace under pressure is Masher. He's saying that scoring in the paint's going to be tougher. It's not going to be broken, but Uncle Dimmy, somebody that is actually pretty close with the devs, is saying if you make a big with Masher on strength, you're just going to be throwing people like Shaq. I'm guessing it's going to be the same as how it's always been. If you're a big man and you get a guard on you, if you get a wing on you, you're just going to be able to bully them. If it's a center on you, where this year I felt like a center couldn't really stop a center if they got in the dead zone. Probably this year, if somebody's the same height as you, you're going to have a hard time actually finishing on them. And I am fine with that. He's talking about the takeover, the core system. And Seth's system is pretty different from both 20 and 21. What the game considers open versus yellow versus red contest is similar, but it's going to make it tougher to actually hit those yellows is what he's saying. Here he goes saying Hall of Fame. That's what it is. You're not going to lose your 99. That hasn't been on next gen for a while, but anybody on current gen, this is your first year playing it, get ready for that. And that is the information. What do you guys think? Again, it's kind of just talking points. It's kind of just things to get our minds thinking, to help us have some more ideas when we go into the builder. We know that we're going to want builds with better shooting. Maybe builds in 2K22 where, you know, a 77 three-pointer on the glitch 6'9" lock, 79s, the 80s, you know, maybe those worked in 2K22. They're not going to be consistent enough in 2K23. That is what I'm thinking. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.